Hi, and welcome. In this video, we'll look at the French Revolution. The French Revolution was a period of political and societal change in France that began with the Estates General of 1789, and ended with the formation of the French Consulate in November 1799. Many of its ideas are considered fundamental principles of liberal democracy, while its values and institutions remain central to modern French political discourse. The causes are generally agreed to be a combination of social, political and economic factors, which the Ancien Regime proved unable to manage. In May 1789, widespread social distress led to the convocation of the Estates General, which was converted into a National Assembly in June. The storming of the Bastille on July 14 led to a series of radical measures by the Assembly, among them the abolition of feudalism, state control over the Catholic Church in France, and extension of the right to vote. The next 3 years were dominated by the struggle for political control, exacerbated by economic depression and civil disorder. Attempts to restore the Ancien Regime by external powers including Austria, Britain and Prussia resulted in the outbreak of the French Revolutionary Wars in April 1792. In September, the French monarchy was abolished and replaced by the French First Republic, followed by the execution of Louis XVI in January 1793. Following the Paris-based insurrection of May 31, June 2, 1793, the constitution was suspended and effective political power passed from the National Convention to the Committee of Public Safety. An estimated 16,000 counter-revolutionaries were executed in the subsequent Reign of Terror, which ended with the so-called Thermidorian reaction in July 1794. Weakened by a combination of external threats and internal opposition, in November 1795 the Republic was replaced by the Directory. 4 years later, in November 1799, the Consulate seized power in a military coup led by Napoleon Bonaparte. This is generally seen as marking the end of the revolutionary period. Causes of French Revolution. The economic crisis in France was exacerbated by the enormous debt incurred from supporting the American Revolution. The monarchy's extravagant lifestyle and the privileged position of the clergy and nobility further strained the nation's finances. Simultaneously, Enlightenment ideas were spreading, fostering a desire for political change among the educated and urban populations. These factors, combined with a growing sense of injustice, laid the foundation for the eruption of the French Revolution in 1789. The Estates General and National Assembly. The Estates General, an assembly representing the 3 estates of French society, was called by King Louis XVI to address the financial crisis. When the Third Estate, common people, felt their concerns were not being adequately addressed, they broke away and formed the National Assembly, an act that marked the beginning of the revolution as it symbolized a move towards representative government. The power struggle between the monarchy and the National Assembly was a defining moment that set the stage for dramatic change. The storming of the Bastille. The Bastille, a symbol of royal tyranny, was seen as a target by the revolutionaries. Its storming was a spontaneous act that unleashed the pent-up frustrations of the populace. The event not only led to the release of political prisoners but also signaled the overthrow of the old regime. The fall of the Bastille has been celebrated ever since as a triumph of the people over oppression and autocracy, and it energized the revolutionary spirit across France. The Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen. This seminal document declared the principles of equality, liberty, and fraternity as the foundation of the new French government. It asserted that all men were born and remained free and equal in rights, a declaration that still resonates in democratic movements worldwide. The declaration served as an inspirational template for later human rights declarations, emphasizing the importance of individual freedoms and equality under the law as guiding principles in a just society. The Reign of Terror. The Reign of Terror was a brutal and authoritarian phase of the revolution. It saw the rise of the radical Jacobins, led by Robespierre, who executed perceived enemies of the revolution through the use of the guillotine. The terror was meant to safeguard the revolution from external and internal threats, but it led to widespread violence and paranoia. This dark period was characterized by intense ideological fervor, intense suspicion, and a relentless quest for purging the revolution of perceived enemies, which ultimately resulted in the loss of many lives. Rise of Napoleon. Napoleon Bonaparte, a general in the French army, seized power in 1799, effectively ending the revolutionary era. He would become first consul and later emperor, bringing stability and centralization but also marking the end of the Republic and the rise of a new form of authoritarian rule. Napoleon's rise to power marked a profound shift in the course of the revolution, as the Republic gave way to a more centralized and military-driven government under his leadership. Impact on France. The French Revolution transformed France in profound ways. It abolished feudalism and aristocratic privileges, introduced a merit-based bureaucracy, and secularized the state. The Napoleonic Code established the legal framework for modern France and many other countries. These changes not only laid the foundation for modern French society and governance but also influenced legal systems and governance structures around the world, promoting principles of equality and legal uniformity. Impact on Europe. The revolutionary ideals inspired other nations to pursue their own quests for independence and democracy. The Napoleonic Wars, while devastating, spread these ideas across Europe, influencing subsequent revolutions and political movements. The French Revolution's impact reverberated throughout Europe, serving as a catalyst for other national movements that aimed at breaking free from autocratic rule and establishing more representative and just governments. Legacy. The French Revolution's legacy includes the spread of democratic principles, human rights, and the idea that power should come from the people, not from a monarchy or aristocracy. These ideals continue to be central to modern political and social thought. The French Revolution's influence endures in today's discussions about freedom, democracy, and the just governance of societies, demonstrating its enduring importance in shaping modern political discourse and the quest for individual and collective rights. Art and culture. The French Revolution had a profound influence on art, literature, and culture. Romanticism, a prominent artistic movement, emerged partly as a response to the revolutionary era. Artists like Delacroix captured the revolutionary spirit, while authors like Hugo explored the themes of justice and liberty in their works. This artistic and literary response to the French Revolution contributed to a vibrant and emotionally charged era of creative expression, which harnessed the passion and turmoil of the times in the service of art and culture. It provided a lasting testament to the impact of the revolution on the human imagination. Conclusion. The French Revolution was a complex and multifaceted period in history. It was characterized by both idealism and violence, yet it played a vital role in the transition from an absolute monarchy to a republic and contributed to the development of modern political thought and institutions. In essence, the French Revolution is a reminder of the enduring power of the people to challenge injustice and tyranny and to champion the principles of liberty, equality, and fraternity that continue to shape the world today. Its impact on the course of history is immeasurable, and its echoes are still heard in the struggles for justice and democracy around the globe.